Hey, everybody, this is Mark. It is July 29th, and it's 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We're going to do the morning Q&A. These are questions from yesterday's email. If you have any questions that you want me to address tomorrow, put them underneath this email. Okay, this is one from Gwen Stevenson, D3W. Here's a summary of her question. Gwen asked whether I could create content about elderly, likely undiagnosed autistic men who seem to deteriorate as they age. Okay, well, I want to accentuate the term seem to deteriorate. It's not evident to me that autism gets worse with age. Now, other things can get worse with age that makes it look like autism is getting worse. But I still think this is an important topic that doesn't get nearly enough attention. So many autistic adults, especially those who were never diagnosed, can appear to struggle more as they get older because the energy they've spent masking, adapting, compensating throughout life becomes much harder to maintain. Also, retirement, health changes, loss of routine, cognitive changes, and probably increased stress can also make autistic traits more noticeable. So I think this deserves its own video, and I'll add it to my list. I want to explore what families are seeing, why it happens, and come up with some practical ways for you and your adult children to respond accordingly. Okay, so thanks for pointing me toward a future project there. The next one is from Amerly, LAU8073. A summary from her is she shared that the communication techniques helped her calm her ASD level 1 partner down for the first time in 13 years and asked for more videos about reconnecting after disconnection. Okay. So reading your comment made my day, quite honestly. Thank you. I especially smiled when you said for the first time in 13 years, because that tells me you weren't just learning information, you were learning how to speak in a way that matched his nervous system. So those small moments of success often become the foundation for much bigger changes over time. I'd also love your suggestion about reconnecting after a disconnect. That is one of the most important and least discussed parts of the neurodiverse marriage. I'll definitely make more videos covering exactly what words to use, when to approach, how to connect without triggering shutdown. So thank you for that. Next one is Kim Willits 3020. Kim described how her ADHD sensory sensitivity to her husband's long beard is affecting intimacy, and asked how to navigate the issue without him feeling potentially rejected. Okay, well, what stood out to me is that this isn't really about a beard. It's about two very real nervous systems that kind of collide. So your sensory response isn't a preference you simply override. It's understandable that your husband may experience comments about his beard as somewhat insulting too. I understand that, but neither of you is wrong. You're just experiencing the situation through different neurological lenses. I would encourage moving away from trying to determine whose need is greater and instead become teammates solving a shared problem. So rather than discussing the beard during conflict, try asking him during a calm moment, can we work together to find a solution where neither one of us has to lose? You know, there may be some kind of compromise here where neither of you are going to lose. We could have a partial win. I don't know what that would look like. Feel free to schedule a private coaching call with me. We can dig deeper on this. So if I were working with the both of you, I'd spend time helping each of you fully understand the other's experience before trying to solve the problem itself. Because once someone generally feels understood, flexibility usually becomes easier, which now means sensory sensitivities can lessen a little bit. That didn't directly answer your question. I'd need to speak with the both of you before we could come up with a solution per se. Next is a Skiddy Sky. She asked what autistic people mean when they say they need to feel safe. Okay, well, that's a great question because safe can mean something different for autistic people than it does for neurotypical people. Emotional safety certainly includes not feeling judged, criticized, or shamed, but it also includes nervous system safety. It means knowing that someone isn't going to overwhelm you, pressure you to respond when you're ready, misinterpret your intentions, or create unpredictable emotional situations that feel impossible to navigate. So, for most autistic people, feeling safe means their brain doesn't have to stay on high alert. In other words, they can stay in the parasympathetic nervous system mode instead of sympathetic nervous system. They can stay in the prefrontal cortex instead of the hindbrain. They can stay under the influence of parasympathetic nervous system chemicals instead of fight, flight, freeze chemicals, which would be cortisol and adrenaline. It means they can relax, think clearly, and be themselves without constantly worrying about making a social mistake or disappointing someone. So that's actually a great topic for a future video, because I think a lot of couples misunderstand what feeling safe, quote unquote, really means in a neurodiverse marriage. The magic term there would be co-regulation. That means I'm going to regulate my nervous system, and when possible, I'm going to help you regulate your nervous system. That if my partner does the same thing, okay, now we have co-regulation as opposed to co-dysregulation, which means she's dysregulated, therefore I'm dysregulated, and now she's even more dysregulated because I'm dysregulated because she was dysregulated, and we get in this downward spiral. Okay, next, Jim Manelli06. She shared that videos have brought clarity to her ADHD ASD relationship and asked whether to continue traditional counseling or pursue autism-informed coaching instead. Definitely pursue autism-informed coaching instead. Traditional counseling is not going to factor in mind blindness, emotions blindness, executive function deficits, sensory sensitivities, weak central coherence, problems with prediction, problems with perspective taking, theory of mind deficits, probably childhood trauma. And did I mention anxiety? Okay. So based on what you've shared, I wouldn't necessarily cancel the counseling appointment just yet. Instead, I'd use it as an opportunity to find out whether he or she understands autism in adult relationships. Regarding your husband, I'd continue moving slowly with him. It sounds very encouraging that he's begun mentioning autism himself. That signals that the idea is becoming less threatening, less shame around it, and so on. I'm on the programmable computer right now, Bill Gates, Silicon Valley over there in California, riddled with people on the autism spectrum. It's nothing to be ashamed of. So rather than trying to convince him that he might be ASD, just stay curious and focus on how understanding both of your neurotypes can make life easier for both of you. Now, if you want to schedule a one-on-one coaching session with me, the link will be below here in the description and also pinned in the comments section. I'd be glad to work with the both of you. All right, that wraps up today's Q&A. If you have any questions you want me to address tomorrow, put your questions underneath this video today, and I'll talk to you then. Thank you. Would you like to schedule a paid private coaching session? This will be in the form of a face-to-face Zoom call. Underneath any of my videos, you'll see this Calendly link. If you click on that link, it'll open up my calendar. You can pick the available days and times that works for your schedule. You'll get a follow-up email immediately after purchasing a session that will have the Zoom link that coincides with the day and time that you picked. I will get an email too that you scheduled a session, and I will be available on that exact day and time, and we will talk. I look forward to working with you.